And welcome to Croatia, welcome to Split once again for the Women's 69 kilo Championship of Europe. Already a British interest in the B group earlier in the day. Emily Godley, the winner for Great Britain. And I can tell you that her efforts have totaled up 209 kilos. The B group lifter who did well in the snatch, Emma Lopez. And this is Emma Lopez's best attempt in the B group. And here is Emily Godley. Now, had a first attempt at 112, missed 117, but then came back to get the third attempt to total up the 209 kilos. 5 out of 6 lifts. Good effort, Michaela.
Absolutely fantastic from Emily. She's overcome some injuries over the past few months. The 117 on her second attempt was overruled with a press out, but nailed it on the third attempt. She's in the lead from the B group.
So there on the screen, some past winners of this competition from all of the European Championships right the way back to 1998, actually, when these weightlifting categories were first established. And as you see there, a lot of Russian success over the years gone by. Well, Michaela, today we have not one British lifter of interest. Emily Godley, good performance, but one of our rising stars, as you see the opening weights here, posted Rebecca Tyler from Great Britain, bronze medalist in this championship in Furde last year.
Yeah, we've got a great start list, and there's Rebecca in picture as we speak, looking pretty chilled out. She's in good form. I've had a good chat with her before the competition, and we're just going to have to wait and see how it goes for her, but I don't think we're going to see her coming out on 92. I suspect she may go heavier, so it's going to be a lot of mind games going on backstage as well.
So in the lineup today, Albania, Russia, Belarus, Great Britain, Hungary, the Ukraine, double-handed, and Sweden.
The snatch.
So
90 kilograms on the bar.
I don't think this will be about records. It'll be about fighting for the championship, particularly the year after the Olympics. It's a new process for all of us. So sit back with Michaela Breeze and myself, David Goldstrom, and enjoy this. We've had some really good women's lifting already at these championships. Let's hope that we're in for a treat again. On stage, Hanna Panova, the first of the two Ukrainians, the junior European champion of last season, 90 kilos on the bar, first attempt.
It's a nice opening lift from Panova. Quite inexperienced at this level. And that's a good start to her campaign. One lift on the board.
And that takes her up into third place. Now, nothing to do with body weight. And again, Michaela will take you through the new regulations that have actually changed the way the coaches and everybody thinks about the sport.
Yes, they have. Previously, if two lifters lift the same weight, then the lighter lifter wins. However, that rule has now been scrapped. Body weights are only good to make sure the lifters are in the category. Thereafter, as the competition unfolds, it's quite simply the lifter that gets to the weight first. So, we've just had 90 kilos. If somebody else came out for 90 also, then they would not surpass the lifter that's just been.
Dave, sir, just a final word for Rebecca Tyler as she comes out to open her account on 93 kilos.
Well, a good thing for Rebecca. Not only is that a solid opening attempt and a nod to the crowd in acknowledgement, she's the first lifter to come out on 93. And looking at the scoreboard, there are a couple of others that fancy their chances on this weight. So they won't go ahead of Rebecca unless they take that extra kilo. Good lifting.
Yeah, that was also, I thought, very well measured the way she came on stage. A year ago, she was like an express train, but they've been talking to her And obviously, she's a year older, she's a year mature. She's changed quite a lot of her life, and we'll talk about that as we go through. But onto the stage, this is Bertha Jung, representing Hungary, also going for 93 kilos. As much the social side of the CrossFit, and she said absolutely, she's got great mates. That's what's looking for a better day than last year when she didn't total, and that's a good start for her. That's excellent.
Well, it is 93 kilos.
94 kilograms, please.
It's not going to take that into the lead. Remember, we've had a couple of lifters already that have secured this weight, so that's into third place.
Yeah, that's a personal best for her because she was a 63 kilo lifter last year. She's moved up.
Just see she was right on her toes on that replay. The heels, watch the heels here. How on earth did she stay upright? I'm not sure. Brilliant lifting.
Yeah, it just lives south of Stockholm. Her brother competed in the Atlanta Olympics as a sprinter, 100-meter sprinter. And Panova out for her second attempt at 94. Now, this attempt, if she gets it, would put her into first place. Good start to the competition. At the Junior Europeans in their laps, 98 kilos was the contribution from this half of the competition.
I think we're going to be pushing it to get to 98 here today. Looking a little bit lethargic through the middle, doesn't accelerate as much. Very, very strong in that receiving position. Great lift.
Two 18-year-olds in the competition, and now the first appearance of Anastasia Michalenka, representing Belarus from Vitebsk, which is about 250 kilometers from the capital, Minsk.
Well, goodness me, struggling to stand still. Yeah. Flew up to arm's length. She power snatched it.
Godley.
2-1 against a junior world silver medalist at 75 kilos 2 years ago.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now, though. She's indicating to her coach that her elbow is sore. Let's watch this again. So easy to a power position. Just that movement there puts an awful lot of strain through the elbow and the shoulder. Has she tweaked it? I hope not.
Actually sense on her face there that she's not at all comfortable.
We've got the Ukrainians rushing very quickly across the warm-up room. They've still got just over 50 seconds on the clock, but clearly have been caught out here.
Patricia just chilling out with a bit of music. And Maria Kilian of the Ukraine, 96 meters, well, 96 meters, 96 kilos. This for the lead, ahead of her team, ahead of the Belarus lifter.
Was it going out backwards? No, stabilises well. That's enough for the lead, as you said. So it's nice to get that first attempt on the board, and I am going to tempt fate by saying this, but so far, look at that scoreboard. Everybody's nailed their first attempts.
Yeah, she's been working at this weight category now for 5 years, and a silver under-23 European medal back in 2015, one of her best performances when she actually totaled 225. The spread today amongst the class 24 kilos and Rebecca Tyler. Second attempt. I'll tell you what, a year on, we're looking at, you know, this is great. You know, fingers crossed. I don't want to have the commentators going, but those are two good openers.
They are two good openers. She's lifting within herself, though. She's done a 101, 102. I think she took my record at this category, which was, yeah, 101, 102 I think she's done. So,
well, she did 101 in the Olympics when she was 10th in Rio.
That's what I mean. She's lifting within herself. She needs a few more kilos here to get right in the mix. So let's see what she can do on her third attempt.
Now, of course, she was born in Yorkshire, Keighley, but now moved to Loughborough.
Yeah, that's right. She's moved to Loughborough, training at the National Centre there, working under the support of Giles Greenwood.
But Eddie Halstead,
yeah, Eddie Halstead still involved, still going down, travelling down to coach her. And he's trying to get the balance now. You know, she's coming out of education, trying to get the balance of training as a full-time athlete, but she's also looking for part-time work as well. So, because weightlifting funding's been cut, it's a very difficult situation the girls are in.
So, Patricia Stoniest. Now, you remarked how much she was on her toes the first time we saw her. So this is her second attempt at 96 kilos.
It's better.
Yeah, the feet were flat on the floor this time.
Yeah, you know when it's a good technical lift, but when you struggle to stand up with the snatch, getting under a bar and then having trouble with the legs. I'm not sure how strong she's going to be in the clean and jerk. We'll have to wait and see. But here, well, that was sped up, I think.
We were talking about making a living. She makes her living as a chiropractor.
Well, it's a handy profession to be in this sport, I guess.
Yeah, I did actually say to her that my neck was aching.
And she told you to man up?
Well, this is a really encouraging start, and now Bataillon for Hungary, 97 kilos for her. Now, in December, she achieved 99 kilos on her way to a total of 208. That was also in Israel in the European under-23s, where she just missed out on the bronze medal.
Oh, it's short, very short through the middle. Got the bar to mid-thigh and pretty much tried to get under it rather than powerfully extending those legs.
Yeah, but she's in that sort of region. She's now in the area where...
See, there's just no extension at the hip there.
She's in that area where, you know, these are sort of best kilos that she's been lifting. Panova for the Ukraine. Comes from a famous family of weightlifters in her Ukrainian country, the Zabotinskis.
Was there movement in the elbow? Seemed to bounce on those arms at the bottom.
If it's okay, she'll be the first to 97 kilos.
Godley.
2-1, the right-hand referee.
Surprised the centre referee didn't see that head on. See, she just mistimes it slightly. As she lands, there's movement. Definitely movement. As she hit the bottom, the bar almost came down on top of her. That's why there was soft arms.
But no movement from the jury. They clearly be sacked. The interesting thing about the jury is, of course, here we have a three-man woman jury. But they have to be unanimous if they want to overturn a decision.
They do. But let's just bring this in as well. We've got some firsts here at this year's European Championships. The first time we've got equal number of categories for men and women. First time we've got 2 female presidents on the jury. And it's the first time that we've got a female technical controller. So as the lifters are coming out, they've got to go past Caroline Charles from Great Britain, who is the first female technical controller at European Seniors.
Well, the very experienced Romela Begay, who in her time has picked up a European bronze medalist. That was at 58 kilos, but also, I have to say, She is returning after a disqualification. Disqualified in the World Championships in 2014 in Almaty, and coming back, she was 63-kilo lifter there. She's come back as a 69-kilo lifter.
Put us in perspective, David. When she tested positive, she lifted 113 kilos in the snatch at a lighter body weight. Here, she's only on 98. It just shows how effective the doping can be. It's good to see that her weights are down and hopefully clean.
So Patricia Stoniest out with some purpose, looking for 98 kilos. Now, of course, Begai's got that, so she's in first place. Stoniest can't overtake her, but she can match her up in weight.
Oh, very slow dropping underneath. Can't move that slowly. There's got to be a catch. And receiving fast at the bottom. This is all smiles, though. Not a bad day in the office.
Rebecca Tyler's posted 99 kilos for her third attempt. Could go 4 kilos and go to 100.
Yeah, but if you look at it, she's only taken 3 kilos between first and second. It's unusual to then take a greater increase between second and third.
So here comes Berta for Hungary. University graduate in economics. 30 seconds, more than that.
Oh, sneaks under. Did not get the hip extension that's required, but she still somehow managed to get underneath.
That was clever.
It well.
May not have been textbook, but it was clever.
Well, it just shows how much further she could go if she got that extension. Super, super quick to the bottom. Well done.
Anastasia Michalenka, Belarus, second attempt, второй подход. Rebecca Tyler, be ready.
You see the coaches there going, oh my God. But then at the end of it all, they're relieved. Michalenka now for Belarus. Anastasia. Second attempt, bar's gone to 99 kilos. So again, this for first place.
Well, disappointing from Michalenka. However, good news for Rebecca Tyler, because Rebecca will be the next lifter out on this weight, so has the opportunity to go ahead of Michalenka. Nobody so far has snatched 99.
And the one lifter who hasn't got going really is Anastasia Romanova of Russia. And Romanova, former world bronze medalist, due to come out at 105 kilos, but meanwhile, Maria Hilyan, second attempt. That's why she's out ahead of Rebecca Tyler, for whom it will be a third attempt. Well, this is everyone who fails in this category, when we look at our young British lifter, gives a greater opportunity for Becca.
It doesn't. It just shows how important this new ruling is. You've got to be consistent. If you get the opportunity to take the weight before anybody else, you really need to capitalise on it. You miss it, and it throws it wide open to everybody else.
Yeah, you were mentioning we do have in these championships one or two athletes who, of course, are coming back from disqualifications. I'm just thinking, kind of, you might, well, I'll just stop there because we haven't got a lot of time to pick it up, Will. There's the state of play at the moment. Romanova still to start.
There's just been a quick change of weight. Rebecca Tyler's gone up. This has forced Michalenka back out. Doesn't have 2 minutes because another lifter was announced. She's straight on. 45 seconds on the clock.
The same problem.
No.
Now,
99.
the damage there is the fact that she's now set back at 95. So,
yeah, that's disappointing. That's very costly. 2 failures on 99 could cost her a chance of medals. Just lost it out the back.
didn't total in the Olympics in Rio, and that junior world title, okay, she's snatched 101 kilos on her way to that silver medal, but that was 2 years ago. So now, Kilian out at 99 kilos, her third and final attempt. It's all very tight at the moment.
Well, she's got that very solid lifting. Well, let's take a quick look at the scoreboard, David. There are 3 lifters left in. If Rebecca Tyler can execute here with 100 kilos, she will guarantee herself at least a bronze medal.
But arguably, more importantly, she'll give herself a little confidence boost for the second half. And there's a feel-good factor.
Albania is next lifter.
Bar at 100 kilos for Rebecca Tyler, 18 years of age, and on stage now for this crucial third attempt.
Oh, can she hold it? Yes,
she
Rebecca.
can. Oh, I just thought she was going so deep then, but actually that was a good recovery. 3 out of 3, and as you rightly said, that is going to take her right to the top of the table, and with only Romanova out there.
Did so well to fight this, nearly went backwards, was soft at the bottom, but has the strength in the shoulders, the leg strength to stand. Dave Sawyer, Andy Callard, chuffed to pieces.
So Romela Begay and Romanova of Russia, Albania and Russia, the only other 2 athletes alive in the competition. Now the bar's gone to 101 kilos for Begay in her new weight category.
It's gone, it's gone. She's okay, but she's really annoyed, as you can see. Well, so close to holding on to that. And this is an important lift for her. It's an important lift for Rebecca. This to go ahead of Rebecca. She still has 1 attempt remaining.
Yeah, so it could be a silver medal, but it all depends on Begay. Just adds the pressure onto Begay. Rebecca, although she's moved, she's been sponsored for many a year by her local butcher, and apparently that sponsorship continues.
Well, quite rightly so, and thank you to that sponsor. You know, it really does make a difference to athletes. I was sponsored by my local butchers when I was competing, and it really does make a difference. It takes an awful lot off your shopping bill each week, but it also means you can eat well. You're guaranteed good quality. And that good quality is necessary for recovery.
A quick thought here. I was going to bring it in earlier, but, you know, you've been on a stage when you've been alongside athletes who've been disqualified and then come back. And, you know, across a range of sports, I've always heard from many an athlete how uncomfortable you feel.
Well, we've got 2 lifters here, the 2 lifters that are left in, one coming up on the stage now and the lifter that's yet to start. Both of them have had suspensions. And the thing is, while they may be clean now, they've still had the benefits of training under the influence.
So you've got muscle memory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is an unfair advantage.
So 101 kilos, this to overtake Rebecca Tyler, to put herself into the gold medal position with Romanova of Russia yet to start.
Was in front this time.
And Rebecca Tyler now guaranteed at least the silver medal. And Romanova, by the way, she had posted 105. She's come down to 103 kilos for her opening attempt.
Well, didn't quite get enough extension. Sometimes just deserved Well done to Rebecca Tyler.
Anastasia Romanova, Russian Federation, partnerem pierwszej parkowej.
So onto the stage, Anastasia Romanova, the world bronze medalist in Houston back in 2015, back after a break. And that will take the gold medal in the snatch. No problem with that. Just to clarify that, her suspension was between the years 2013 and 2015. She came back to get the bronze medal in Houston. And since then, I talked to her coach just before we got underway. And I said, what have you been doing? And she said, not a lot. I've obviously been getting ready, but basically I've had a break since Houston.
Well, had a break, but as we've discussed already, muscle memory is there. I know I could get back to close to my best with very little training, but in the first instance, it took me many years to get there. And she's got that advantage. Unfair, but you know, that's the rules. Well, Rebecca Tyler.
100 kilos, 3 out of 3. Can't ask for more than that. She's guaranteed the silver, and you can see there that Klian of Ukraine has benefited also from Begai's failure, because Begai now left down in 4th place. So Russia, Great Britain and the Ukraine. And good news for Great Britain, because we hadn't got onto the medal roster yet, but we have now.
Can I just say something here? I mean, we look at the start list and you've got a question then. Rebecca coming in 92, 93 kilos, and we were thinking, goodness me, is she going to have a chance of a medal here? But she's put together 3 really good lifts, and that just sums up. It doesn't matter what you start on, it's what you finish on that's most important, and she's put a really good run of 3 consistent lifts.
So the bar's gone to 107 kilos. Obviously, Romanova, what she's got in, I mean, she snatched 116 kilos in Houston. So on paper, at least, she's massively ahead of everybody. But the Russians haven't been that impressive at these championships so far.
No, average.
But you can see, tall figure. Hails from Krasnodar in the south of the country.
Well, that was more explosive than the first. Very businesslike, and she really is running away with this. Puts her in the lead by 7 kilos now.
108, please. Top 8. And of course, Anastasia.
Yeah, this was much better than the first one. Not that the first one was bad.
No, the first one was just a little bit hesitant, a little bit slower. This one attacks it far much better. What kind of language is that? Much better. Quicker underneath.
That's good lifting. I mean, that really is good lifting.
Good lifting, solid lifting. It's just a shame about her reputation.
Interesting there, you can see her breathing. Maybe talk about that a little bit when you actually...
You don't breathe, David.
What exactly?
You set yourself.
Yeah,
you set yourself.
That's the point, but people at home...
No, okay,
sure.
So when you go to the bar, bearing in mind it is a split-second lift, you're not doing this for very long at all. You set yourself, and most lifters will hold the breath. Some will, particularly on the clean, will exhale on the effort, so as they're standing out of a heavy clean. Each to their own, but there is Rebecca looking relaxed, looking composed. She needs now to refocus, keep it together. Let's hope she has a good, strong, clean and jerk.
She's got a car, she told me, but she hasn't passed a test yet. But, you know, everybody knows how much it costs to, learn and pass a driving test.
Well, maybe there's 1 or 2 sponsors out there that might get behind her and give her a hand on the way so she can get to and from training.
Yeah,
so
or drive home.
And so she can continue to train as a full-time athlete. This girl has to work. It's going to have a serious effect on how the next few years unfold for her. So let's give this girl a chance. If there's somebody out there watching, get in touch.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you say that, but it is absolutely true, isn't it? You know, if you've got a car and you can actually work your own schedule and pop into it as a result, other than having to depend on public transport, there's a big difference in that.
It is.
So, Romanova coming out and 112 kilos, and she really will be in a position where it'll be hers to lose this championship. If she gets 112, and she's, well, so far ahead, it's going to be really difficult to see anybody catching her. She's there, 3 out of 3. That's a massive advantage over the field. But Rebecca Tyler, 100 kilos. She's in second place. Maria Klian of Ukraine takes the bronze. But when you've got someone like this out in the lead, Michaela, actually, if you're lifting like Rebecca, you can't bother about her too much.
No, absolutely. Nobody will be worrying right now about the leader. They'll just be focusing on their own game plan. And to be honest, Rebecca is probably the one that is there to be shot at. Everybody else will be seeing that there's a silver and a bronze medal available. So Rebecca really does need to put another good 3 lifts together in the clean and jerk.
So Romanova, when she got the bronze medal in 2015, totaled 253. This competition was won by Avdalyan of Armenia last year by 237. We're not going to be seeing those numbers, I don't think. But that is the state of play at the halfway stage. And also in there, Emily Godley for Great Britain. A good effort in the afternoon session.
Best entertainment deserves awesome Wi-Fi. This is Virgin Fiber.
Here at Enterprise, we have a huge range of cars, vans, and luxury models.
So no matter what you confusing Brits do on the weekend, we've got a vehicle for you.
Need to move some stuff?
We're gonna burn this guy in a bonfire and dance around the flames.
Nothing makes sense here.
So whatever vehicle you need, we've got it. It's UK Car Hire.
With US customer service.
Well, welcome back, and welcome if you're just joining us. It's 8 minutes past 6 in the early evening, and Rebecca Tyler of Great Britain doing really well. A silver medal secured in the first half of the competition, and the statistics there for you to see. Anastasia Romanova, former world bronze medalist, very much in command of this competition. But there are a whole host of athletes. In fact, if I look down the ranking, as you can see for yourselves there, if you go between second and fifth, well, there's only 2 kilos. This is the bronze medalist from the first half, Maria Klian of the Ukraine, one of 2 Ukrainians. And good lifting, came out at the 3rd attempt. Well.
Yeah, really good effort. Yeah, there was nip and tuck here in terms of the weights to choose, but she selected well. Missed the first one on 99, but secured it then on her 3rd and final attempt. Bronze medal.
Kian, who just missed the bronze place last year. She was just 2 kilos behind Rebecca Tyler. That was in 2016 in Ferde. And now Rebecca Tyler.
Well, coming out here for a third attempt, successful in 93, 96. That's 100 kilos. Absolutely smashes it, saves it from going out the back. That's enough for a silver medal in the snatch.
And only 18.
Incredible lifting from such a youngster. Really has risen through the ranks and establishing herself now in this category.
And Romanova, well, you've got to say, in a class of her own in this competition so far. And
she's completely run away with it, isn't she, so far? 103, 107, 112 on her third and final attempt. 12 kilos up on anything anybody else could do.
And basically now she's in a situation where it can only be hers to lose.
It can be. She needs almost to be careful here, not to go out on anything too heavy. Just do enough to win. Simple as that. But it's wide open at the moment for silver and bronze. Nobody is safe.
Godley.
And Romanova, she's posted 125 kilos, I think it is, to open up for the clean and jerk. Klian, the bronze medalist, 120. Begay of Albania, who missed out on the bronze. 2 failed attempts in the snatch division. And Rebecca Tyler, 116. She's got some work to do. And so at the halfway stage, just to remind you, the situation, as you can see, Romanova 12 kilos up on Tyler, and then Tyler 1 kilo only ahead of Klian, who I remind you was only 2 kilos behind Rebecca a year ago. And then Begay 2 kilos behind Tyler, likewise for the Hungarian Berta Young. And so all to play for. And Panova, the young junior European athlete from the Ukraine, she's only 3 behind Tyler. So Becca has got a lot of work to do to stay on that podium.
She has. She's got a best of 126, so she's capable. It's going to be close.
Back after this for the clean and jerk. So just under a minute to go before the start of the clean and jerk, and on screen for you the opening weights for the clean and jerk here. And Rebecca Tyler, 116. Now, this is where a little gamesmanship often comes in here, because 116 would suggest that she's going to have to work really hard to stay on the overall podium track.
It does. All the lifters have 2 opportunities to change their weight, so I'm hoping that they put in a conservative 116 with the aim of increasing that weight if the warm-up goes to plan. So who knows? You know, we just don't know what these lifters are coming in on. That's just a guide. They have 2 opportunities to change.
So Romanova has posted the heaviest start weight at 125 kilos, as you saw. But the athlete who is going to get us underway, Berta Young from Hungary, 105 kilos.
The next lifter,
Now, I've got a personal best here at 109, which she did in December in Israel. So she'll be certainly looking to surpass that. As happens in a lot of sports, Mikhaila, not everybody is going to make a medal, so you have personal targets that you set for yourself. 30-second buzzer coming up. As you would expect, a fairly straightforward start and a comfortable one at that.
Yeah, 105 kilos. I think we're probably going to see Jung following herself. Nobody else wants anything close to that. The next weight up is 115. So it looks like we're going to have 3 consecutive lifts by Berta Young of Hungary. Just see the positions here. back leg goes a long way back in comparison to the front. It's okay, she can get away with it on this weight. We'll have to wait and see how the next two unfold.
Well, when I was preparing this morning and just reflecting on the performances of everybody, I actually watched an unbelievable video. And talk about women's sport. This was a girl of 12, and some of you at home might have caught up with this on the news and sports. Brianna Liston from Jamaica, 12 years of age, in the boys and girls meets in Jamaica, 200-meter race, 23.69 for the 200 meters.
How old?
12.
Wow.
They were sort of saying, here comes the female Usain Bolt. I mean, she was obviously a street ahead, but that's only, well, it's a little bit more than 2 seconds, but not much more than Flojo did in winning the gold medal in the sprints in Seoul in 1988.
Well, incredible performance. I'm going to have to check that out when we get back.
I'm not sure if they can bring it to London, because I'm not sure the athletic age limit for the World Championships this year, but maybe they'll bring her as a spectator.
You know, that's probably not a bad thing. You don't want to be burning youngsters out at that age that have that much talent.
Well, that's a name to look forward to, isn't it? You know, what would she be? She'd be 15, 16 in Tokyo.
Watch this space.
I mean, the commentator was absolutely gobsmacked when he saw her. And she really looked good, you know, very composed, you know. So the bar has gone to 110 kilos. So this is for a new personal best straight away on the second attempt, and why not?
Well, nothing to lose, all to gain. Currently sat in second position, fourth though on the clean and jerk. Emily Godley from the B group, 117 earlier today.
Yeah, I should just mention Emily, 209. She has the best total so far, 5 out of 6 lifts. That was a good performance and a useful one, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Oh, there we are. There's the sign of weak legs.
Well, she does have another attempt. Just reflecting on Emily Godley, because you were pointing out that obviously disappointing she wasn't in the A group, but on the other hand, there were thoughts of the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast for next year in what she was doing earlier in the afternoon.
That's right, every lifter comes to a championships like this with their own agenda, with their own focus. Some will be coming here for medals, some will be coming here to try and get close or to break new personal bests. For Emily, and I know for some of the other British lifters, the focus is very much on the Gold Coast next year, the Commonwealth Games, and in order to secure a place, they have to be ranked high enough. It's only one lifter per country, per category. So for Emily, it was about getting a total on the board that's going to rank her fairly high. What's Emily's problem? Well, she's up against Rebecca. So 2 of them in the same category. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to pan out.
Date for your diary, Gold Coast, Commonwealth Games lifting, 5th of April next year. So the European Championships will be relocated. And something to look forward to. The only thing that I'm concerned about, actually, is that they were trying to get a more compact programme. So as I understand it, they're not going to have any B groups at all. Everybody's going to go in the A group, and that's going to be 15 lifters, possibly, in each of the A groups. And I mean, I'm not in favour of that for television, because it's going to mean sitting there for 2.5 hours, which I think is extreme. But not only that, 15 in a class is very difficult to manage.
It'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. It would be nice on a positive, though, to have all the lifters competing together. Pros and cons.
Yeah. So, Bertha Young, 3rd attempt. The bar has now gone to 112 kilos. She's bought a little time. But has she got the leg strength to pick this up and put it on her shoulders to give herself a chance of the jerk. 30 seconds. And the answer, I'm afraid, is no.
More squats.
And, you know, I can understand why she went for the 110. I don't think she needed to go for the 112.
Well, she wasn't really that close to standing with the 110.
I don't fathom or understand why they went for the one, other than to give her a bit of extra time.
Definitely needs to develop the leg strength in training.
So we move forward, and the bar has now gone to 115 kilos for the first attempt of last season's junior European champion. And this is Hanna Panova representing the Ukraine, who at the halfway stage ranked in 6th place, a long way back from Romanova, but only 3 kilos behind Rebecca Tyler. In December, she actually snatched in Israel 119 kilos. That's her personal best. Sorry, clean and jerk, 119. Well, it looked heavy on the clean.
No.
Like Rebecca Tyler, only 18 years of age. And
just having a look at the scoreboard, David, she's going to have to come back out for 115 again. But Rebecca Tyler, meanwhile, has increased her opening attempt from 116 to 118.
I think that's...
She would still be the next lifter out.
She could change the game.
She could do. If she goes to 120, well, if she goes to 120, she'll still be the next lifter out. But no, she wouldn't. There's one other on 118.
Yeah.
But it would. Well, 120 would be a good starter, wouldn't it?
Well, 126 in Rio in the Olympic Games, ranked 10th, but it was a decent effort from her, wasn't it? 101, 126 for 227 total.
Let's put this in perspective. It's pretty challenging to come away from an Olympic Games and get straight back into it. These lifters would have needed some downtime, not just physically to recover, but psychologically as well. So, you know, the preparation has gone well for Rebecca. We'll have to wait and see if she can pull it out, and it really matters.
So, Panova, as you said, she's got a minute still before she has to get the bar moving, and here she comes out onto the stage. Now, from what we saw, she needs to do this first phase as economically as she possibly can. And that is better. And she's much quicker, and the whole thought process was also much more clear. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she wanted to do.
Well, clearly drove with the legs this time, 2 arms length. Can't be shoving the bar off the shoulders with the arms. Clean was good, nice and straight with the back. And here a big drive through the starting position to catch at arm's length. Well done.
And she overtakes Emily Godley from the B group, 212.
And there is the change again from Rebecca Tyler. She's gone from 118 up to 120, as we hoped she would. She'll force out Stoniest now for her opening attempt.
But there is a relevance in that. It's not just cat and mouse in games, is it? I mean, obviously the warm-up has to go well.
Yeah, and there's Rebecca in picture right now. She looks like she's about to take a lift in warm-up. Goodness me, the coaches are leaving this late. At the moment, it looks like it's Stoniest on the platform. There's one other lifter, and then Rebecca will be out, so she's not having much time for recovery. Oh, it was forwards. Manages to get her body back underneath it. Really good effort from Patricia Stoniest. First attempt, she's in the competition, she has a total.
Yeah, and having moved up to this weight category, she looks a whole lot more comfortable. And, of course, it takes a while to learn a new competition category.
Just giving your body time to adapt to the increase in weight. You don't want to be going up and putting fat on, you want to be increasing muscle mass. So increase in weight is often difficult to get that transition, and it often takes a bit of time. So there's some changes of weights going on right now.
Bar to 119 kilos. That's the early state of play in the clean and jerk. And there you can see Emily Godley just overtaken. And Panova out for her third attempt. So 3 kilo increase. So, in fact, a 4 kilo increase, I beg her pardon, and this would take her to 216 and put her back into the overall lead. And the lead in the clean and jerk, of course. Well, I think it really went wrong for her, missing that first attempt.
Well, it's going to knock your confidence somewhat, but there was a good fight there. Has the legs to stand, but as I said before, just trying to use her upper body a bit too much to get it overhead. Needs to drive more with the legs.
Well, it's going to be interesting because from the 18-year-old Panova to the 18-year-old British lifter, Rebecca Tyler. So a direct comparison about to happen. Bar to 120 kilos. Dave Surer on the left there, Annie Callard on the right. And now, how well prepared is she for this? Well, 120 kilos.
She looks psyched. Well, no messing around.
Strong overhead, feet in line. Good opener, 120 kilos. Goes to the top of the clean and jerk ranking, secures her total, and she's on her way. And what I was just thinking very quickly, Michaela, how much confidence has she given to the coaches? You know, the coaches have got a great lifter to work with.
They have, absolutely, and it makes the coach's job easy when you've got a lifter with this much talent. She listens, she works hard, and do you know what? This kid is hungry for success. She's not coming here just to do okay. She's coming here and she's got a mission. She's got something she wants to achieve. Now, all too often has been lacking in the past with some of our lifters.
Hlian for the Ukraine. Same weight as Rebecca. And that's strong overhead as well. She's got a good opener there. And remember, these two, very close last year and very close this year.
They are. Well, just to put this in perspective now, Rebecca hit the weight first. Rebecca did the 120. Callion now equals it on 120. Doesn't go into the lead. She's a kilo down on the snatch. Therefore, she's going to need extra 2 kilos on anything that Rebecca does here in the clean and jerk.
Now, Romela Begai from Albania. Really disappointed. Missed the medals. 2 failed attempts in the snatch.
Oh, that buries her hard. Has to work to stand. Well, that was nowhere near. And I'll tell you why that was nowhere near. The attempted oscillation on the bar, was trying to do it subtly, but clearly whipping that bar a little and then mistimed it on the dip and drive.
I think there's also another factor for lifters like Romela. in this day and age now, with back testing and everything else, you know, to previous Olympic Games, these lifters who've been found out now know that there's a really intense eye on every one of them that comes back.
And quite rightly so. These lifters, in my view, in fact, every lifter at this kind of level should be tested monthly. That's the only way we're going to know if they're clean or not. And it's quite clear right now, across this championship, those lifters that have been caught in the past or have been implemented are now lifting a whole lot less than they ever have done. And they look average.
Well, I agree with you on that. I think intensive testing, but right across the world.
Absolutely.
It's got to be everywhere. And I agree with you, a once-a-month test. And there you can see Rebecca Tyler at the moment in the lead in the clean and jerk. And Begay once again under pressure.
Well, the timing here has to be better than it was on the previous attempt.
At 58 kilos, she picked up silvers and bronzes at European level. Now has a chance.
Well, that was better.
She's walking around a lot, but she's probably okay with 121 at the second attempt, and relief was the expression on her face because she's got a total, but that's, when you look at the stats there already, you're seeing that's only 2 out of 5.
Let's look at this now. Times the clean better to stand straight out. Slightly forwards, hips were behind the bar, but manages to get back underneath. Can she go any further? Questionable.
So Mikalenka now, she was down in 8th place at the halfway stage, 5 kilos short of Rebecca Tyler's 100 kilos. Starting her campaign in the clean and jerk at 122, trying to claw back 2 of the lost kilos.
Easy clean. Solid jerk. Well, there's more kilos in the tank there.
Well, again, it is 2 years ago, but she did clean and jerk 130.
Well, you can clearly see that she has the potential. The question is, can she remain composed?
The interesting thing is also that she was 19 when she was doing that, 21 now, so still at the beginning of her career.
She should be getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
So Begay at the moment in the overall bronze medal position. Now she's at 122, that's only a 1 kilo increase.
She'll go up from 122, but not much.
Stoniest for Sweden, and the bar goes to 123, so this will be a 5 kilo increase for her. So again, this is all about her personal plan to produce her best ever performance in what is also for her a new weight category.
It is. This will not threaten Rebecca, though, for the overall lead. If successful, first in the clean and jerk, but only 4th in the total. That was better than the first effort.
Yeah, and there's a lifter enjoying herself.
And it's great to see. You know, these lifters, they work hard, and quite rightly so, they do deserve to enjoy. But under pressure now, Rebecca coming out on 124. Remember, we've just had one lifter succeed with this, so if successful, it would not take the lead on the clean and jerk.
But the kilos are important in her quest for an overall medal here. And Stoniest, who, well, she wasn't terrible at 63 kilos, but this is obviously much more comfortable. And now, big cheer from the British contingent behind me. And Rebecca straight. Look how direct she is to the bar. Oh, no. Just saw a foot move and twist there as well.
Well, let's take a look at the replay. Yes, she slipped as she recovered. Why did she slip? It's normally because she's slightly out of position. Rushes the clean a little, but very, very strong. Oh, it was as she recovered, wasn't it? Didn't quite push back, just went sideways. Real shame, because she had it to arm's length. Oh, frustration.
Yeah, because that really limits her ambitions.
Well, that could be very costly.
Well, it's a very big decision, difficult decision to make. Meanwhile, Lian, now, as we've said, Lian, Tyler got the better of her in last year's championships in Norway. Now, the roles could arguably be reversed. 4 kilo increase. And yet again, impressive overhead, just brings that right foot forward. That's a good lift. And Klingan of Ukraine goes into first place in both the clean and jerk and the overall. She's got a total of 223. And that is only a couple of kilos short of her personal best.
Well, Rebecca, now, you can't really play this scoreboard much. You've got to go out there and do what you believe you can do, and Rebecca has to believe she's capable of this.
I think she is. I mean, she's a couple of kilos short of a Olympic clean and jerk of 126, and I'm sure had she got the 124 at the second attempt, she might have been going for that 126.
She needs this one.
So, and I think Dave saw she's still quick. Now. Come on, Becca. That's it. That will do. That will do nicely.
Well, it's job done. One hiccup on the way. She's back up into the lead by just 1 kilo. She can do no more. It's now a case of sit back, wait and watch. Works hard here to stand out of the clean. The drive, so explosive. Gets herself back under the bar. Great lifting from Rebecca.
Well, she is a great lifter. I mean, she was also the youngest ever British senior champion in her time. She's gone on from that, and now Romanova, 125. But this competition is far from done, and Romanova doing the sensible thing here, coming out to effectively seal the title.
Oh, for goodness sakes. I'm not even sure I can commentate on that.
I mean, that was so ridiculously easy. I mean, I did say 2015 when she got the bronze medal, clean and jerked 137 kilos.
Very soft clean, rides it in. This is everything you wouldn't teach somebody. But my goodness me, is she strong. So long as the bar goes to arm's length, it's fine. It's a power jerk, and it's a power jerk that looks effortless.
Mind you, make a good point there, Michaela. You don't want to get into bad habits at any age.
Well, there's some serious bad habits there, but you know what? It works for her, so crack on.
Now, Begay. So, Begay coming out. This is a 4 kilo increase. So this will take her to 223. But more importantly, it put her into the lead in the clean and jerk. Not sure about this on the evidence of what we've seen so far. I think, to be honest, she's a woman in no man's land. I think, you know, the fact that she's been disqualified, the fact that she's had a suspension, and she's moved up a weight category, and I'm not sure what's going on in her head at the moment.
She's moved up a category, performing way below what she's done before. And why? Just why? Anyway.
Well, there'll be another 2 Albanians on the stage this evening in the men's 77 kilo, and both of them, well, actually, one of them is certainly coming back from a suspension.
Well, on a positive now, we've got Patricia Stoniest from Sweden. Third attempt, 126. Another 3 kilos on top of what she's just done.
And this is for 5 out of 6, so these are all new best marks she's trying. Can she stand up? Yes, she can. Bar in front of her there. Pity. Bar away from her. But you can see there, she's actually enjoyed the experience.
And that's important too. She'll take a lot of confidence from this competition going forwards in her preparation for the World Championships later this year.
Yeah, there's an interesting little group of Swedish female lifters, isn't there? About 3 or 4 of them. And at European standard, they're rightly making the A finals now.
They are, and it's great. It just shows the hard work that's gone on behind the scenes, and it's happening across a lot of the Western European countries. State
of play in the overall standings. You can see Romanova running away. Tyler in silver overall. Hlian. Now, this is the big difference here. This is her last attempt, 2 kilos, to take her ahead of Rebecca Tyler. She needs this to go into silver.
And she's got it.
She is strong overhead, isn't she?
Well, you've got to give it to her. She's done 3 from 3 there, and that is some achievement under pressure. Whether she knew how much that lift meant or not, she lifted well. So Rebecca Tyler in 3rd place. There's one lifter that can deny her a podium finish.
Michalenka, who's looking for 5 more kilos. So onto the stage comes Anastasia Michalenka. 127 kilos, 2nd attempt. This would take her to 222 in the total, which is what we're focusing on at the moment in relation to our British lifter.
Well, Anastasia Michalenka looking very, very comfortable. So precise in her movements.
And that moves her up into 4th place overall, leads us in the clean and jerk, but she's still got to find another 3 kilos. She's on 222, and Rebecca's on 224.
Yeah, 5 kilos down on the snatch, but Rebecca got there first, so she needs 6 on Rebecca in the clean and jerk. 130 is the weight that is required to push Rebecca off the podium.
And it's a weight that she has done. But Romanova, well, at the moment, Romanova's so far ahead.
Well, here's a change now.
Yeah.
Romanova had 128 posted. She's been called. She's decided to go up, force Michalenka out, and Michalenka now does not have more than a minute to recover.
Well, be interesting to have a camera on the face of Rebecca Tyler at the moment, because this is a medal decision lift.
Well, you can see the British contingent in the middle there.
Where's Becca? Just looking for her at the moment.
She's just behind Andy Callard, looking anxiously, watching the cameras. And Michalenka now, she's not had the recovery that she wanted. 2 minutes is normally what you get when you follow yourself. But if another lifter is called, comes back to you, it's just 1 minute.
Although she doesn't have to rush this because she's got the best part of 45 seconds, so she can compose herself at the bar. So she makes this. She goes into the bronze medal position. If she doesn't, Rebecca Tyler has got the bronze. It doesn't matter that she rotated. And 2-1 decision.
Well,
but for me, I thought that was fine.
Yeah, I didn't see any infringements there. The helicoptering of the bar, as long as the feet are in line and she's under control, it's job done. The clean was solid. Stands has to work a bit harder this time.
And you can see that she's gone into the bronze medal position by a kilo, and it just shows you that failure of Rebecca on the second attempt, how expensive that was, because I'm sure if she'd got that, she would have gone for another couple of kilos, and it could have been different, but...
It could have, would have, should have, didn't. It's a shame, but
so,
Rebecca will learn.
Russia have won the title. This is the second attempt. Romanova just testing herself here. 6 kilo increase to push her to 243.
It's not even close to... That's what I call a partial knee bend. Speechless.
Easy day at the office for her.
I wonder what she could actually lift if pushed.
Well, the World Championships, 137. Now, she won the Nationals here. Sorry, she won the Nationals this year in Russia. But that was easy, 110, 130. That's all she had to do to win the national title.
But I just don't get how it's possible to do what she's just done.
Do you want to elaborate?
Well, she doesn't even drop underneath the bar.
Well, it looks as if she is going to take that third attempt.
Well, is she going to go for something big, maybe?
Well,
Is she? The coach is all shaking hands backstage. No, she looks composed still. Yeah, she's in the far corner, you can see. She does look like she's preparing to come back out.
There's Rebecca. She'll be a little disappointed, I think. Annie Callard there with a smile, but you've got to put it in perspective. I mean, she's got a good career ahead of her. Didn't quite work out today, but she's there or thereabouts. She's certainly in there at European level and absolutely at Commonwealth Games level.
She absolutely is, and I just hope now that she can stay fit and healthy, get some good, solid training behind her, and I'm sure we're going to see her progress over the next couple of years.
You know, because in Glasgow, again, it's a horrible position to finish on, isn't it, fourth? And she was fourth in Glasgow with 2:09. But look at that, you know, Glasgow 2:09, 3 years on, and she's lifting 224. And we know that she's capable of, you know, what, a total of 227 at least, and more. There will be more.
Oh, there will be, absolutely.
Because as you said, you know, she's a grafter. You know, she actually loves to work.
She's got the desire. I believe that this sport is the three big parts to it. Obviously, your physical strength, your mental strength, but the technical aspect. She's got it all across the board.
So, 135. So this is to 247 for her final total.
No, I don't know about that. I think the arms are soft.
Yeah.
She's doing the right thing there. Oh, goodness me. Her reaction maybe has convinced the referees, but no, the jury have said stop.
Yeah. That, well, I looked at the right arm and I wasn't sure about that at all. And need to see this from the front. Here we go.
Both arms I thought were pretty soft. Didn't quite catch it at arm's length.
No. There's a definite press out there.
She held it on bent arms.
Yeah.
Thing is, she was straight, and then it came to bent arms. It's almost a... What's the opposite to a press out? A straight to bent, I don't know.
So that lift will be cancelled. But nonetheless, Romanova is the champion of Europe at 69 kilos. And she will collect all 3 gold medals. Maria Klian of the Ukraine, who missed out and finished 4th in the edition last year in Førde in Norway, now up into overall 2nd and a bronze medal in both the snatch and the clean and jerk divisions. And Anastasia Michalenka of Belarus, yet another young Belarus athlete getting into the medals, a silver in the clean and jerk, a bronze overall. And Rebecca Tyler, well, her consolation is that she does have a silver from the first half of the competition, so she will be out there, she will be on the podium, and that's good as well. Didn't quite do it, but that second attempt failure at 124 has almost certainly cost her the bronze medal.
Yes, it has, but she'll learn a lot from this experience, and I'm for sure will come back stronger.
And decent effort there by Patricia Stoniest in her new category. Just looking at the clean and jerk rankings there. Just going down, Emily Godley, 7th in the clean and jerk. That's a decent effort from her as well.
Really good effort from Emily, and let's hope they can push each other along now to bigger and better things as we head into Commonwealth year next year. We've got the World Championships at the end of this year first. That's what they'll be focusing on.
And there the overall result of the championship. Gold, silver and bronze. You can see overall Emily Godley down there in 8th place, 209. So way down, but as you rightly said, she actually has got a classification for the Commonwealth Games, so that is an objective achieved by her today. Well, Romanova at the end of the day having to settle for 5 out of 6. And we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back for the medal presentations. And you're back for the presentation to the overall champion of Europe. This is Anastasia Romanova getting the gold medal from Pavel Kuznetsov, the former Olympic champion and vice president of the Russian Federation. And it's the Russian national anthem to recognize the achievement of Romanova this afternoon. Well, momentarily, the presentations for the individual disciplines. So a medal coming up here for Britain's Rebecca Tyler. The Ukraine bronze medal to Maria Klian. And the second and the silver medal, 3 out of 3 for Rebecca Tyler. 93, 96, 100, and she gives Britain their first medal at these European Championships. 16 nations now have taken medals at these Europeans in Croatia. And Romanova to collect the snatch gold medal, 103, 107, 112 kilos for her victory. And the clean and jerk medals now to be awarded. I think Rebecca needs a bigger flag.
I think she does, yeah. She seems...
Looks as if that one
shrunk in the wash.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly a second, yeah. Obviously, poor material.
Hey, she'll have a big one when she's on top of that podium, hopefully in a couple of years.
And so to the clean and jerk medals, bronze medal going to Maria Klian. And you suspect that actually Klian and Rebecca Tyler are going to have a few more sporting arguments before their careers are done.
Well, I'm sure they will, and it's nip and tuck. You can't have it your way every time, but the harder you train, the luckier you get.
And the silver to Anastasia Michalenka of Belarus.
Next time to this.
And to complete the presentations, well, she had a break after the bronze medal in the World Championships. I suppose you could say this is a sort of nice return to, or very straightforward return, really, to lifting on a big competition stage.
Yeah. So it's you know, sad that she's had suspensions, but I guess good that it's a competitive field.
So that's it, and there are your medal achievers. Hope you've enjoyed it. From Michaela Breeze and myself, we'll be back at 8 o'clock Central European time. And just to remind you of something, there was a man in the men's 77B group today who lifted 360 kilos, and he could take the gold medal tonight. That'll be something to see. Join us at 8 o'clock Central European time. For now, though, bye-bye from Split.